Okay, so again, this tutorial is a WordPress tutorial for my customers using the striking theme. Striking theme is what WordPress calls templates, and basically it's a paid theme. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to add pages. So here, if we go to left-hand navigation and click on pages, you can see these are all my pages. And when it's got a dash like this, it means it's a sub-page of this page here. I will show you what I mean by going over to this page live, and you can see these are all my sub-pages. I go ahead and I make a sub-page for each and every brand available laptop screen, so that Google will find me better when people are searching for Apple Mac laptop screen repairs rather than just a generic search term. So I'm targeting them. So I want to add a new page. It's quite simple. I can go add new there or add new there, and what that'll do, it'll just bring up the same as it would as if you're going to edit a page. So I started to add this one just before, so I'm just going to edit it now, but for illustration purposes it's the same. So here's where you create your title. Now your title is going to have a lot of weight when it comes to people searching for you on the internet, and you might as well be using that and thinking of your title before you start, because it also creates a permalink. And once Google starts what they call indexing your pages and getting it up there, then if you change a permalink, you'll get errors. So it's good to think of titles, have well thought out titles. In this section here, this is where you can add the content of your website. So you can just go ahead and start typing in there, press the preview changes button, and you'll be able to see it in live time what it's going to look like. What this theme does, if you go down here to shortcode editor, the striking theme allows you to do geeky stuff without having geeky knowledge. So for example, we can add style boxes. You can do all these different types of things: buttons, boxes, layouts. Let's just start with boxes. They're simple, they look good, and they're easy. So style boxes, and then I'm going to choose one, a framed box, and here's where I can add my content. Okay, so I've got a little bit of content. I suggest you make your content up on a Word document and just make it up without formatting and stuff, and we'll format it later. So don't go ahead and spend too much time making bold and putting spaces in your Word document. Just make it simple, and then we can edit it live on site. So I'm going to put my content in there. All I've really done there is put some spaces where I want the spaces to go. Okay. So you can just do that and send it to the shortcode editor. What you do here, you can make the height of the box, the width of the box, pick background colors, make the corners rounded, and then you just click this button, send to shortcode editor. Okay, so what that's done is up here, it's centered up here, but you can see it's just ran all my text together, which isn't really how I want it to look. The part that we really want, the geeky part, is this type of stuff here, and that's basically back-end HTML, which you don't need to know anything about. But what we can do, instead of just letting it run together like that, I'm going to take all my content out. Okay, I've made the frame box the same. I can put my heights in there, my colors, around the edges, whatever. I'm going to send it to shortcode editor. Up here in the box, you see it's got frame rounded. Okay, now in between these two tags here is where I can add my content. Okay, so as long as I don't touch anything either side, I won't mess up the code. And if you do, you just start again anyway. So you can see I've kept my spacing there and everything that I wanted to put in there. Now, one thing you can do while you're making these pages, you may as well do it, is this is my heading, so you make it heading 1. Okay, now people think, oh, it's too big or whatever. Heading 1, it's important for Google, so again, just do it. You've got H1 tags, you've got H2 tags. The first tag, just make it a H1 tag, make it optimized to what you're searching for, like make it what your page is all about as well. Okay, so I've basically done that. Now I can go ahead and over here I can give it a parent. Okay, so I want it to be under all brands, I don't want it to be under anything else. Or if I had no parent, it would basically, well, I'll show you what it'll do. I'll give it no parent, and I'll just preview the changes, and it opens up a new tab in real time and shows me what my box looks like and if I like it. So basically there it is there, and by default in the striking theme, it's a what they call a left hand widget or whatever. Basically, in this section here, you can put ads on every site, or you can make it a full width. If I didn't put it under all brands, it'd just turn up here as a main heading. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it simple for start. If you're a techie out there listening to this, then you know I'm sort of fumbling over my words there, but it's just for the basic to no experienced WordPress user. So we're going to give it a parent. We're going to make it all brands because that's where it belongs. Now I can give it an order if I want, or I can just leave it as nothing, and that won't give it an order. So when you go over here, you can see Aces is first. If I wanted it to be last, I'd name it number 12 or whatever that is down there. Okay, so you can give it an order. So flick back over here, and here's where the default template is. So I don't want that default template. I want a full width. Okay, so I've put it where I wanted it, I've put it how I wanted it, and I've put it what order I wanted it in, all under page attributes. Okay, now I'm going to preview those changes. Again, it starts to load up again, and we see it in real time. You see everything except the navigation actually, but okay, that didn't work. Okay, it's making a liar out of me. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, if run into bugs like that, I'm just going to update it because I like the way it is anyway. So I'll update, and it's just basically, it will say publish first of all, but because I'm editing the page, it'll say update. So I'm going to publish this page, and then I'm going to go see what it looks like. So over here, I'm going to refresh the page. And the page that I added is Gateway Laptop Screen Repair. I'm going to go see what it looks like, and you can see there we've got the full width box, and I can give that box a background color if I want. Well, let's do that now. I've got the formatting there. There's the heading. It's all pretty straightforward if you're sort of good at Microsoft Office and Word and all that. Okay, highlight spelling mistakes and stuff. And there's spell check and stuff up here, and all these things that you can do, make it bold or whatever. All I want to do now is give it a bit of color. So down here, basically this is where the time comes in when you don't know what you want when you start, because to give it another color, I've basically got to use that shortcode editor again. I've got to grab my stuff out. So I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to get rid of this old HTML code because I'm going to make it colourful now. Shortcode editor. Style boxes. Frame box. Actually, you can do this. If you use the code, you can preview the changes. But I've just gone about it the long way because I'm silly. Anyway, I'm going to give it some background colour this time. It's good. Say green was the gateway color. Let's just make this green. Background color, text color, keep it rounded. Send to shortcode editor. Well, at least you get to see me go through it twice anyway. So you can in between these two ones. I'm going to enter all my stuff again. It's all in there. I'm going to update it. I could preview it, but I'm just going to update it. Go back over to the screen. You can see it's still updating there. Once it gets to that stage, so it's a time-consuming process, but if you know what you want before you start, see, and that's ugly as all hell, but if you know what you want before you start, it's a lot quicker. So I didn't like that. Okay, so this is a good example actually. I didn't like that awful green color that we just made. Text is impossible to read. Doesn't go with the website theme at all. Let's go back over here. Can we revert to something we've saved earlier? So down at the bottom here, you've got revisions. So I'll just look at the time. That time's off, but let's just go back to the last autosave. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So you've got all these revisions down the bottom. When you don't like something, when you make a mistake, just go back. Okay, you can compare revisions. Is that updated? I'll just check. So that was the order, so okay, it hasn't done it. Okay, so that's the current version. Okay, so here we go. I want it back to the one where it wasn't, and over here on the restore. Okay, so you can see I'm still learning all the time too. To be a master at this stuff, it's a long process. But anyway, just to do the basics. So I've shown you a few things there. I've shown you how to add a page. I've shown you how to make a frame box. I've shown you how to get out of a mistake that you've made and revert to an old thing. I've shown you how to use the shortcode editor. So that's a fair bit I've shown you in 10 minutes. Just play around with it. While your website's young, you may as well make the mistakes now, because we'll have a backup of your website on file that we can restore at any time. Okay, within reason. We'll probably make a backup every few days or so. I'll teach you how to make backups in another episode, but thanks very much.